Hi everyone, it's Angel Remy again, and I'm back with another telepathic communication. This is with Annunaki Mother Ninhursag. It's about soul-to-body connection, about how the consciousness chooses and moves into a new incarnation and a new body. So I'd asked her, how do souls move into a new body after passing away? And she had said, they stay in the spirit world for a while until preparations are made, and then they can connect their consciousness to the fetus in the womb, or they can come into a body in the birthing chamber, and sometimes they can even come into an adolescent or adult body if they don't want to experience childhood and babyhood. So there are different ways of going about it. How long does this process usually take? A couple of years? And she had said, yes, it can take a few years, but to the soul and the spirit, it feels very quick. The soul chooses where it wants to incarnate and then makes the connection with the planet, and then some of the people make preparations for that soul to incarnate. When a man or woman on the spirit level incarnate, for example, they decide to live on the Anunnaki world, do they have their memories intact of their previous lives? And then she had answered, yes, they can have most of their memories intact. Maybe not all of their memories, but definitely most of them. Do newly incarnated souls ever have bad memories bother them, or do they mostly remember the good ones? Usually they only remember good ones. Sometimes, for some people, bad memories can end up coming into the consciousness, but they don't have to accept them, they can reject them. What kind of help and assistance can one get if there are bad memories bothering them? And then she had said, we have technologies that can help. The technology can help to keep the bad memories from coming into the consciousness. It targets the part of the mind where memories are kept and goes through a process to help the individual to not have bad memories anymore. Question. When a soul doesn't know where it's going, can it end up going into limbo and become a ghost for a while? Like when a soul doesn't know where to incarnate next. And then she had said, when a passed away person goes into spirit form and they are on the spirit level, their mind expands and opens up. They start to know more than they have ever known before. Then they can make decisions about where they want to incarnate next, and then preparations can be made. When a soul comes into the spirit world, do they have very many options as to where they can go and incarnate and live in life again? And then she said, yes, there are literally millions of places to choose from. The universe is great and vast, and there are very many inhabited worlds in the universe to go and have incarnations on. If a spirit has a connection to a certain world, will they most likely choose that one to incarnate on? Yes, this is the most common thing that happens. And if a soul has a connection to more than one world, then they can travel anytime they want. When they have incarnated, they can go back and forth between different worlds and visit all their loved ones. And they can continue that all of their lives, traveling and visiting throughout their lives. When a soul comes to the spirit level, do they ever see people that are familiar, people that they knew in life? Sometimes that can happen, but those that have passed away sometimes move on and transition to a new life quite quickly. So sometimes souls come into spirit form and don't know anyone. And that is, they don't know anyone from their lifetime, but their mind opens up so much and they understand that the other souls that are there in the spirit world only want to help them. So even though many of the souls have moved on already, they can still connect with them. If they have telepathy, they can connect with them very easily. Because as soon as you remember somebody, you can connect with them telepathically. Telepathy is very, very common throughout the universe. There are very few places that don't have telepathy. When a soul comes into the spirit world, who comes to them to help them incarnate into a new life on a different world? And then she had said, they become connected to some people that are incarnate, but have a telepathic connection to the spirit world. So those people aren't spirits, but they have the ability to speak with and be around those of the spirit world. They help them with the process of reincarnation and choosing a place to have a new life on. There are also angelic beings that help those in the spirit form. They sometimes help a spirit to choose where they want to go next. They help guide them and help with the orientation. When spirits come through into the spirit world, sometimes they need to be told that they are in a safe place. Sometimes spirits can be a little bit confused, so the angelic beings come in to comfort them and talk to them, and they help to talk them through it. And then their consciousness becomes higher, and it begins to expand, and then they are able to understand everything just fine. Okay, and so that's it for that one, for that channeling session. And then there was another channeling that I did with Darien. He's a Martian man. It's about the Martians of Mars and the Earth. So I feel like maybe I should do a separate video for this, but I thought I'll just sort of try and cram everything together because I did so many telepathic communication questions and answers and things like that, and I made so many notes. And so I just want to sort of condense it all together and not have like 6 or 7 separate videos for everything, but rather just make it like 3 or 4 or something like that. So why don't we jump into this one as well? So this is my telepathic communication with Darien, and he is the Martian man. And this is about the Martians of Mars and the Earth. So I had said to him, "Introduce yourself, please, Darien." And then he had said, "I am Martian, but not only Martian, I have other kinds of genetics as well. I have some reptilian and Orion genetics. I work and live on a spaceship, and I am very involved in the hybrid programs. I am a father and love being a father." And then I asked him, "When did the Martians first come to Earth?" And he said, "They came to Earth thousands of years ago." "What are some Martian physical characteristics that are common?" And he had answered, "Some of them have a unique shape to their eyes, a sort of downward slant of the eyelid. Many of them also have very dark hair and fair to olive skin tones. Some are quite tall and some are of a shorter stature." "What was the reason for the Martians to leave Mars and come to Earth?" He said, "The planet was in chaos and there was a lot of destruction. So some of the people were able to travel to Earth and seek refuge, while others got picked up by otherworldly people and went with them to different worlds, and some stayed on spaceships to work." "Was there any kind of contact between the Martian people that came to Earth and the Martians that went to other places in the universe?" Then he said, "No, there wasn't any contact from what I know. There was telepathic connection, but not any other kind of contact." And then he said, "How come to this day in current times we don't know anything about the Martians? Only a few people that are non-Martian are aware of themselves, of each other, and not the general public." And then he answered, "The Martians may have wanted to go into hiding, so they didn't put themselves forward that way for the whole world to know about them. And the consciousness of the planet had dropped a long time ago, so it was easy to forget very many things. The Martians wanted to conceal their identities because they wanted to start over." And then he said, then I asked, "Did the Martians bring very many of the technologies with them?" And he answered, "Yes, they brought a few technologies with them. They couldn't gather everything because of the destruction of their home world, but they have contributed very many technological advancements for the Earth, and different kinds of inventions have been made by them." "What are some of their inventions and technologies?" And then he answered, they contributed the invention and technology of the laser. The laser is used in very many ways, everything from laser hair removal all the way to laser eye surgery and other kinds of surgical procedures. Will the Martians want to reveal their identities to the world? Do they feel ready at all?" And then he answered, "They will not. They will most likely reveal themselves after open contact has occurred." "What does open contact mean for the Martians on Earth?" And his answer was, "It is very significant. They will get to interact with the otherworldly people. They will get to reveal themselves as Martian and become part of the galactic universe." Questions: Have the Martians mixed with humans on Earth? His answer was, yes, there has been a lot of mixing going on with humanity over the ages. Do the Martians feel like they are a collective? Yes, many feel a fellowship between each other, and some on Earth also feel this way. How many telepathic connections can a Martian have? They can have thousands of telepathic connections. Even those on Earth can have this ability. Did the Martians bring to Earth their ability to be telepathic, and how did it travel through the ages for the newer generations to also be telepathic? Yes, they did bring this ability to the Earth. The Martians had an agreement with otherworldly people to have the telepathic implants be given to them. They did so throughout the ages, so the Martians of the Middle Ages were actually much more advanced than the other human people that were written about in the history books. The Martians have kept their knowledge to themselves. They didn't want to share it with anyone. They might share it in the future as open contact occurs. And there is more familiarity growing between humans and otherworldly people. And and good interactions and positivity and love flourishing and thriving between all of us. And they may want to reveal themselves more. And so that's all I have for that one. It was quite short, not too long of a conversation that I had with him. And Martians have been spoken about in Drunvalo Melchizedek's work. Some of you may be familiar with his work. He's written some things about the Martians in his books. I think one of the books that he had written about the Martians one of them was called The Secret of the Flower of Life, Part 1. I think that's what it was called. I'm not sure entirely. The title might be a little bit different. I might be remembering it differently, but I remember it was called, from my memory, I'm recalling it as being titled The Secret of the Flower of Life Pattern, Part 1, and there was a Part 2 book as well. And in Part 1, he touched on Martians and how they came to the Earth a very, very long time ago. And so I just wanted to expand on that with Darien. And yeah, so I just kept it short and simple. I might do more Martian question and answer with him in the future. But hopefully you found this very interesting, and hopefully it's helpful in some ways. If not, it can just be food for thought and something fun to think about as we go into the future. And yeah, that's all for now. I'm going to come back with 2 more question and answer notes that I've prepared on the side here, ready to go. So I'll be back with another video in just a few minutes. So thank you so much for listening in and tuning in and supporting the channel. Thank you, and blessings to all of you. Bye.